Welcome to lab problem number 17. In this particular problem, we are going to find the sum and average of a series of numbers entered into a 1D array. 1D stands for one dimensional array. So I have declared an array with a capacity of 50. I is an variable used to index or loop through the array. N is the number of numbers the user decides to enter. Although the capacity is 50, the user may say he or she wants to enter just 10 numbers. I am initializing sum to 0 because if you fail to initialize sum to 0, then sum will take a random or a garbage value. Then your sum as well as average is not going to be calculated correctly. So first I'm going to ask the user enter the number of elements. The user enters the number. Then using a for loop, I am going to read the elements into the array. Okay, I is equal to 0, I less than n, I plus plus, sorry, I plus plus. Then what I'm going to do here is I am going to say cin, all right. I'm going to say a of I, all right. So it's going to read the elements one by one into the array. This has already been explained in your theory. Now what I am going to do here is I am going to do a little bit of copy and paste so it makes my life easy to find the sum. So I can just copy it like this. Okay, you can see the copying what I have done, and then I can simply do a paste. Why I'm doing a copy and paste? Because instead of cin, when finding the sum, I have to simply say sum is sum plus a of I. So if I do this, I am pretty much done. So I am finding the sum like this, starting from the 0th element to the maximum number of numbers entered by the user. Once I find the sum, then what I am going to do here is I am going to declare a variable called as average of the type real or floating point. So this average is equal to, now since I want a result in floating point whereas my sum is integer, I am going to typecast sum into float so that the division happens correctly of a floating point number. Then n also automatically gets converted to a floating point number and the result is a floating point number assigned to average. So once I calculate the average, it's easy for me. I'm just going to print the sum. Sum is, okay, I'm going to say sum and line, and averages all right. So this should do it. So this should take care of the average. Then I have already done the remaining part of the coding by typing the get ch in advance, and this is the end of the program. So this is a pretty simple program. I'm reading the numbers in a loop. I am trying to store the numbers in a variable called sum, and then finally I'm calculating the average by typecasting sum to float because I want the average to be a real number. N also automatically is promoted to a real number. This is how you end up getting. So let us first try to compile this program to see it is working or not. Okay, lucky we. So what we'll do is we will now try to run this particular program. Enter the number of elements. Let me enter just 5 because the concept is more important here. And let me enter the elements. Let me enter 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. So if you see I have entered 5 numbers and the numbers are 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. If you add all of these numbers, they are equal to 15. 15 divided by 5, the average should be 3.000. So here if you see sum is 15, average is 3. So you can try it out for another number. Let's try to run it again now. Let's press this number 1, 2, 3, sorry, enter the number of elements. Let's say 10. Then let me enter the numbers 1, 2, okay, 3, 4, 5. Then what I'll do is I'll enter -1, -2, -3, -4, -5. So what should be the sum now? Sum should be 0 because I'm adding positive 5 numbers, adding negative 5 numbers. Divided by the total number of numbers 10 should always be 0. So the average should be 0. So here it is, sum is 0, average is 0. So this is what you should be doing to test the data so that it works in every case. I hope this explanation is clear and understandable to you.